Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited today because I'm going to do a full face of Laura Geller makeup. So I went to Ulta, I'm so excited. I bought this big set and it was only $29. And you all know I'm not sponsored because I don't even have any followers yet. But this was so inexpensive. It has a full-size blush in it, which retails for $28. It has a full-size foundation powder in it, and that retails for $33. It has a full-size 2-ounce spackle in it, which is a primer, and that retails for like $32, I think. I got all of this for $29 and it is still available at Ulta for $29. I think full price is, yeah, it's $59 for full price. But $29, people, that is such a good deal. If you've ever wanted to try Laura Geller products, and this only comes in a medium and a fair skin tone. So if you fall in that range, then I say pick this up and try it because I love her stuff. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use all these products. And I have a few extra products that I'm going to use as well that are Laura Geller products. And so I'm just going to do a full face today. And without further ado, let's put on some makeup. I've tried a lot of her primers, but I've never tried this one. And it's a moisturizing primer. And that's exactly what you need if you have dry skin and you're going to be using a powder foundation. My face is already moisturized. And I have a sunscreen on as well. So this is just going to add some extra moisturization, I'm assuming. I've never used it before. And it's also going to help keep that powder foundation in place all day. If you can't tell, I'm not shy about my primer. I apply lots of it at a time. Okay, that has a little bit of a cooling effect, that primer does. But it's really nice. I like it so far. And it has a little bit of a cooling effect, and then it's also smoothing. And in order to give this powder foundation a fighting chance, I have redness on my cheeks, and so on one of my cheeks, I'm going to put a little bit of the IT Bye Bye redness, because I think that any type of powder foundation isn't going to be full coverage. It'll probably be more like medium coverage, which is fine. But because I have that redness, I need a little bit more coverage. So I've just applied the Bye Bye redness, and I put it on the right side of my face, which is where I have the majority of my redness. You can definitely see some redness there, so we will see how this powder foundation covers that redness. So this is the Baked Balance-N-Brighten foundation, and I bought it in Fair. And I'm just going to apply this all over my face using my IT Luxe foundation brush. And I have never applied powder foundation before, so I have no idea how this is going to go. I may end up, because I have dry skin, I may end up hating it. I don't know. It may not offer enough coverage either. Oh my goodness, it's looking pretty good. Well, it has more coverage than I thought it would. This is great. It's definitely very mattifying, so that hydrating primer added a little bit of a sheen, kind of a dewiness to my face. And this is definitely getting rid of all that dewiness. And this brush is working great, so if you have an IT Luxe foundation brush, this is a great choice to use. It's definitely adding lots of product to my face, and that redness right there is gone. It's gone. That's impressive. Okay, I might end up liking this stuff. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't 100% sure that I would, just because, like I said, I have such dry skin, and powder foundations on mature dry skin can cause issues. Mainly, it just accentuates your dry spots. But this is looking good. I'm feeling pretty good about this. It is evening out my skin tone. It's blurring the look of my pores, and I have pretty big pores through here and right through here and right down here. Okay, Laura, 1 point for you. You might be converting me to powder foundations. So I'm going to do a giveaway, and if you want to stay tuned until the end, I'll tell you how to enter that, and I'll be giving away this full-size pink grapefruit Laura Geller blush, and I also have some other items to give away as well, so stay tuned. $29 kit comes with an eyeshadow. It has 5 different shades of eyeshadow in it. So I'm going to put this on for you, and you all can see how it turns out. I have primed my eyelids, and I'm going to take this very center shade, which is called Sheer Pink, and I'm going to apply that all over my eyelid from my lash line until my eyebrow, and that's just gonna set my primer, and I'm using the Urban Decay Original Primer. It is a satin, that center color is a satin finish, but it doesn't have so much sheen in it that it looks silly for setting your primer. It's just a very, very light sheen to it, so it's actually perfect for setting the primer. Next, I'm going to go in with Peony Blush, and I'm going to use that as a transition shade. These do have a nice soft texture that kind of reminds me of Lorac a little bit. And they're very buildable. That's actually my favorite kind of formula for an eyeshadow, is one that is buildable and a little soft. I'm using my Real Technique Deluxe Crease Blush for this. This is my favorite crease brush because it's very fat, and because I have hooded eyes, it helps me to get that color up above the hood so that when I open my eyes, you can still see the color. Next, I'm going to apply Plush Rose, and I'm going to put this in my crease as well, just to help darken it up. Give it that depth that I need, especially since I have hooded eyes. These shades are a pink plum, and they are beautiful. This one has a little bit more of a sheen to it. Usually I do mattes in my crease, but this is really pretty, and it's still giving a wonderful depth to it even though it has that sheen to it. It does have some glitter in it. It's extremely fine glitter, and when I wore this yesterday, I was shocked because I had no fallout. I have another Laura Geller eyeshadow that has so much finely milled glitter in it that it actually looks wet on my eye. It's beautiful, but I will have just a showering of fallout throughout the day, so eventually I got all of this glitter on my cheeks, which I'm not real fond of, and this eyeshadow palette doesn't do that. Even though it still has some of that fine glitter in it, I haven't noticed any fallout. At least yesterday I didn't. I will keep track of that today as well. I'm just doing small blending motions in my crease to blend that out seamlessly. I'm going to take that same deep plum color and I'm going to put it in my V now. I'm going to take a blending brush and I'm going to blend that out. And I'm also going to blend it into my crease a little bit just to darken the outside of my crease and to add more depth to this makeup look. I'm going to take a flat shading brush and I'm going to dip it into this light color that is Pearl Satin, I believe. Oh, Satin Pearl. And I'm going to apply this to my lid, just the inner half of my lid, to lighten it up. If you have hooded eyes, that's a great trick for making your hood look bigger, or not bigger, you don't want a bigger hood. Anytime that you apply a shimmering light color to your lid, it's going to draw that forward, and so it's going to make it look larger and more prominent. I'm going to just gently blend those edges, so that it's not too harsh. And you can use a blending brush. I'm just being lazy and I'm using my flat brush to do that. I'm going to take that same Satin Pearl color and I'm going to put it underneath my eyebrow. And I'm well aware that my eyebrows look terrible. I apologize for that. I'm growing them out. I'm actually going to go to the Benefit Brow Bar and I'm going to get them professionally done. So I am trying to give her as much raw material to work with as possible, or him, so that I can get them done and make them look beautiful. Last, I'm going to take my Real Techniques accent brush and I'm going to take that very darkest color, which is called Cocoa, Deep Cocoa, and I'm going to apply that just above my lash line. I'm taking that same brush and I'm taking that same color, that Deep Cocoa, and I am going to put it just below my bottom lash line. And then lastly, I will curl my lashes and put some mascara on, but I'll go do that off screen and I'll be right back. Next, I have the Balance-N-Brighten in medium. This was just in my collection already, and this is a deluxe travel size. And I'm just going to use this to kind of give myself a healthy looking glow, especially since it's winter and I could use a sun-kissed look. And I am using my Luxie 512 small contouring brush to apply this. I'm going to take my IT contouring brush and that same medium Balance-N-Brighten, and I'm just going to create a nice little shadow underneath my chin because I do have a double chin and I want to try to minimize it as much as possible. I am excited to say that I have an extra one of these Gilded Honey Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator. These are super popular. I think the full size retails for $26, but I do have a sample that I have not used of this. I have one sample for me and one sample that I will give away. And this is a good size too, so this will last for months. But I have never used it before, so I'm really excited. I've heard amazing things about it. It's pretty gold, so I'm curious how it's going to look on my fair skin. I'm going to use the Coastal Scents. It's just an angled blush brush to apply this. Oh, that's very gold. Oh my goodness gracious, that is so gold. Oh, I'm gonna need to blend that. Can you all even see that at all? It's pretty. I think it's working on my skin tone. Let's try this side next. It doesn't seem like it's too deep of a color. It seems like it's working fine. I wouldn't call that blinding. I thought it would be a little bit because there's so much sheen inside on the pan. I just thought it would maybe have a little bit more of be a little more illuminating. It's pretty illuminating. That's pretty. I'm not sure if I would trade out my Becca for this, but it's definitely very pretty. Let's see if you can see it. And then last I'm going to use the blush, which I'm giving away a full size of this. This is a beige mauve shimmering pink. Because I already have so much red in my cheeks from those broken capillaries, I like to use a stippling brush because it's just very fluffy and not very dense. And then I even kind of have a method where I'll just roll it around 2 to 3 times and then I very gently apply it to my cheeks. I don't want too much color because over time those broken capillaries will peek through my foundation and then it's just too much redness. So I just want something light to add some life back into my face and some color after putting foundation on. I also purchased this Hollywood Glam Squad, and I don't think this is available anymore, but it came with a beautiful lipstick that I'm excited to use. It is the Laura Geller 50 Kisses Lip Locking Liquid Color. It's in the color Ravishing Rose, and this stuff is the real deal, let me tell you. In my opinion, it compares to Ofra, and I think it also compares to the Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's extremely pigmented, and I put it on about noon yesterday and it was still on there at 9 o'clock at night. So this stuff is really great if you want a long-lasting liquid lipstick that's fairly comfortable. My opinion is that all liquid lipsticks are a little bit drying, but this one is fairly comfortable as far as liquid lipsticks go. You have to be real careful with this one because when you're putting it on, it does seem like it likes to bleed outside of your lip line a little bit more than others, and I don't know if that's because the applicator might be a little too thick. It is a little thicker than other liquid lipstick applicators that I have used, so I'm going to do the liquid lip outline first to do that lip line with it, and then I'm going to let that dry and then I'll apply another coat. You only need one coat for this to be opaque. That is how much pigment it has in it. I'm just going to let this dry for a minute and then I will come back in and add that final coat. And you can see this lipstick dries down beautifully. I really like it. It's pretty darn comfortable too for a liquid lipstick. Last product or makeup product that I'm going to use that was in that $29 kit is the Color Luster Lip Gloss. And it's in the color City Lights, and really all it is just a pretty clear shimmery lip topper. It is mildly sticky, but it's not ridiculously sticky. And it actually does, I wore it yesterday, and it does dry down after about 15 to 20 minutes. And it makes a liquid lipstick, that's lovely, I have lipstick on my teeth. It makes the liquid lipstick just more comfortable to wear, but I didn't notice it affecting the longevity of the lipstick. It does cause it to transfer. So before you put this lip gloss on, you will not have any transferring onto your coffee cup, and it will stay on very easily while you're eating. It is, once you put this lip gloss on top of it, you will have some transfer. And when you're eating, your lipstick will probably be more likely to come off, but that's normal. I mean, that's not really that big of a deal in my opinion. And the last item that was in this $29 kit was a brush. If you don't have a whole lot of brushes, keep it. If you have a lot of brushes, especially nice brushes, I don't think you're going to use this. It's not very soft. It's not very good quality. And that is a sponge tip applicator, so I don't even begin to know how many uses you could get out of that before it would start falling apart. So this is just kind of, in my opinion, the one throwaway item in that $29 kit. But other than that, it is an amazing kit. You can see all the products applied. I think they look pretty nice. I'm going to be back in about 2 hours, and I'm going to talk about how this is wearing. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple hours. Bye. It's been 2 hours since I last checked in, and I thought of all the preconceived notions I had about powder foundation, and I made a list because I'm a list maker, and I thought that powder foundation would exasperate my dryness, and it may still do that. I've only been wearing this for 2 hours. So far it has not, but I will keep this on over the course of about 8 hours and kind of reevaluate that every 2 hours. I thought that it would cling to dry patches, and it hasn't. That's the thing that kind of shocks me more than anything, is that this isn't accentuating my dryness on my nose. It looks great, to be honest. I also thought that it would have lower coverage than a liquid foundation or a cream foundation. And it's pretty darn high coverage. I don't even know if I would call this a medium coverage. I think I might call it medium to full coverage. Not 100% full coverage, but more than medium. Can you hear that? Our tornado sirens are going off. It's Monday. It's just a test, so please ignore that. I also thought that it would wear off quickly, and it still may. I've only had it on for 2 hours, like I said, and so this may still wear off, but right now it looks exactly like it did when I first applied it. I'm impressed. I am so excited. It kind of makes me want to try not just this powder foundation, but other powder foundations as well. I had no idea. I didn't know they could be this full coverage. I didn't know they could look this pretty. The only gripe that I have is that it is sort of accentuating some of the fine lines on my forehead, which is a little surprising because it has a blurring effect on the pores, on my cheeks, on my nose, and down here. I'm kind of really impressed. It really makes my skin look pretty, and like I said, it doesn't accentuate my pores at all. The Spackle Hydrating Primer. This has no silicones in it. It is a water-based primer, so I wouldn't recommend using this with a silicone-based foundation, but I think it's perfect, absolutely perfect with a powder foundation, and if you have dry skin especially, this is perfect for a powder foundation. It's $32. I'll link it unless you want to buy that kit, and you can get the whole thing for $29. This retails for $32, but it's 2 ounces. So if you look at like Smashbox Photo Finish, which is silicone based, it's $36 and you only get 1 ounce. So you're getting twice that for $32. So even if you didn't buy that package for that kit for $29, you're still getting a really great deal on this. Okay, so I am going to do just a quick update on everything that I'm wearing after 2 hours. I will say that the highlighter is gorgeous. It looks great on my fair skin tone. It is golden, but it's not overly deep colored. It's a very light golden color and it's beautiful and it has not faded. It looks just like it did when I first applied it. The Balance-N-Brighten in medium hasn't faded either, but I'm not real crazy about this color. It's a little bit orange on me. I think if I got the Balance-N-Brighten in fair or light, I think it would probably be a much better match for me. It's okay. It applies well. It blends well. It's a good product, but I just think I have the wrong color. The blush that's in pink grapefruit, it looks fine. I mean, it's a blush. I'm not too particular about blushes. It hasn't faded, looks fine. The lipstick, oh my gosh, the lipstick. I mean, look at it. It's gorgeous. The pigment is still there. I'm gonna show you something though. Yeah, that's my cup. It transfers like crazy, and that is from the lip gloss, which I can no longer find. Here it is. That is from the lip gloss, so that's why it's transferring. If I did not put this lip gloss over it, it wouldn't transfer at all. It would look totally fine. But I did want to show you that you will get it all over your cup, so just beware. But even with that much coming off, I mean, look at my lips. It's gorgeous. And then the eyeshadow, it hasn't faded at all. It looks beautiful. So that is my 2-hour update. I'll be back in about 2 more hours and I'll update you again. I'm back for the 4-hour update, and I want to say that I continually am impressed by this foundation. I am a little shocked by how much I like it. There's a few negatives. It is starting to sink into my laugh lines right here, and it's starting to rub off of my nose. Now granted, this is at the 4-hour mark. I do have year-round allergies, so I have been rubbing and blowing my nose. And so that's gonna cause transfer. There's very few foundations out there that I use that don't transfer when I'm blowing my nose. I mean, that's just kind of the name of the game. The sinking into laugh lines, that doesn't bother me too much either because I generally just do this and just kind of smooth it out and it's fine. So that doesn't bother me too much. Yeah, the coverage is still there. I haven't seen too much of a decrease in coverage. And remember how I put the IT bye-bye on? Well, that's just because I assumed that this wasn't going to be very high coverage. I don't think I needed it. I'm not seeing red peeking through, which is pretty surprising to me. I think you could put this on if you have red cheeks and you have rosacea or you have broken capillaries. You could wear this foundation, and I don't think you would need to put anything under it to cover up that redness. This has enough pigment in it that it does a really good job of covering up any discolorations that you may have. I haven't noticed any dryness, haven't noticed it. I would even say that it's kind of absorbing into my skin a little bit. The oils of my skin are starting to come through a little bit, and so that powder is starting to kind of melt into my skin, and that's not a bad thing. I think it looks nice, and I don't know if I would call it dewy, but it does give it more of a, instead of a matte finish, it gives it more of a maybe a satiny finish, which is nice. I mean, I think it looks great. I'm not complaining. I do want to say that the eyeshadow, yesterday I didn't notice any fallout from the glitter that's in it, but I'm seeing a ton of fallout today. So that surprises me too, because yesterday I had no issue. And the only thing I can figure is this light shade right here. I think that's a satin pearl shade. Yeah, satin pearl. That light shade right there, I put more of that on today than I did yesterday because I really wanted to lighten up my lid. And I think I went a little overboard with it, and that could potentially be what's causing the extra fallout that I didn't have last time. If you want to prevent that fallout, maybe don't get too crazy, don't pack it on. So I'm a little disappointed that I'm seeing all that fallout. The eyeshadow itself though is beautiful. It's not creasing. It looks lovely. It's as vibrant as it was when I applied it 4 hours ago. So overall, I'm happy with this. I will go in with a lighter hand next time just to help prevent that fallout. This is the bronze. The bronzer still looking good. I haven't noticed any changes at all to it. So same with the highlighter. Hasn't disappeared. I can still see it. It's a nice, pretty golden color. It's not crazy strobe out there. It's just a nice pretty glow, so it looks great. Same with the blush. Blush is still looking good. I can still see it. It hasn't faded at all. So that is my update at 4 hours. I will be back at about the 7-hour mark, and I will just give you my final thoughts on this. So I will see you in a few hours. Hello, I am back for my last update. We're at about pretty close to 7 hours now. And the powder foundation is looking pretty good. It has good coverage. I'd say it's about a medium to full coverage. It doesn't accentuate my dryness. So if you have dry skin, I say possibly give it a go. It does blur my pores along my nose, along my cheeks, on my chin, but it does also kind of accentuate fine lines on my forehead, which is a little weird. You would kind of think that if it blurred pores, it wouldn't accentuate fine lines, but that's not a deal breaker to me. It is a little, after 7 hours, it's a little tiny crusty around my nose, which I'm not too fond of. It's also rubbed off on my nose, but I blow my nose a lot, so I kind of expect that. That's kind of a normal issue for me, and this is powder, so it's very easy to reapply it. And it is settling into my laugh lines, but like I said, at the 4-hour mark, I just kind of rub those out a little bit, and they're fine. So that's not a deal breaker for me either. And a lot of my foundations tend to kind of settle in those larger lines on my face. I guess the final verdict is that I am surprised by this. I'm surprised by how much I love it. I like it so much that I will probably try other powder foundations. Since I've always thought I would never be able to wear them because of my dry skin issues, but now I'm starting to change my tune, and I'm starting to think that maybe I can wear them, and I'm kind of excited about that because it opens up a whole new world to me. There's so many powder foundations that I've heard about that are supposedly amazing that I'm kind of excited to try them all now. So you may start seeing those in my videos. I would say that the powder foundation has a pretty flawless look about it. I like the way it blurs my pores. It doesn't look cakey. It has good pigmentation. I would say overall, I would recommend giving this a try if you're curious about a powder foundation. The eyeshadow, you can see for yourself, it hasn't faded at all. It looks really pretty. It's still very vibrant, but the fallout, it's got so much glitter falling out of it. I have a dusting of glitter just all under my eyes, so I'm a little unhappy about that. The only difference is I used more this time than I did yesterday, so I'm going to go in with a lighter hand, probably even sometime this week, maybe even tomorrow, and I'll leave an update down below to let you know if using a lighter hand resulted in less fallout. I love the shades. I'm definitely going to keep using it, but that fallout is not ideal. The bronzer and the blush, they have faded slightly, not much. I mean, they're still there. I can still see them. I would say they've faded just a little bit, not a whole lot. After 7 hours, though, I would kind of expect that. So I would say that these are both wearing really well. The highlighter still looks great. I don't notice any fading at all. It just has that beautiful glow, that gold glow. So I can see why so many people love this. It seems like it's lasted really well, and it's just not an over-the-top glow. It's just kind of a subtle gold glow, so I love it. I'm going to continue using this a lot, I'm sure. Lipstick has feathered some on my upper lip, so that's kind of unfortunate. It doesn't look terrible. It's just if you get up real close into the mirror and look, you can just see how it's kind of settled into some fine lines that I have around my mouth. And I think if I were to use pencil liner, it would probably not do that. I'm not real big into using lip pencil liners, but for this one, I have a clear Urban Decay lip pencil liner, and so I think for this case, I will probably try using that and seeing if it keeps it from settling into fine lines, but it's still extremely vibrant. And this lipstick, even if you put lip gloss over it, will last all day. So last but not least, I'm doing the giveaway of the Gilded Goddess set, which has a liquid highlighter, it has a powder highlighter, and it has a champagne colored primer, and then a full-size blush, and then a calligraphy eye pencil, and these are worth about $60. So this is a continental United States giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel and just leave a quick little comment. If you want to talk about Laura Geller, I'd be happy to talk about Laura Geller with you. Or if you just want to tell me what if there are any products that you love of Laura Geller's, I would love to know that too, because I haven't tried all of her products. So if there's anything out there that you know of that's amazing, I would absolutely love to be let in on that so that I can try it too. So I just want to thank you all for being here today and for watching my little video, and I appreciate your all's support, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.